Hi guys, welcome to my second Spanish video. Um, so, yeah, let's start out with reviewing what we learned in the last video. So the goals were, I said, practice for 15 minutes every day. Just write down the phrase maybe 20 minutes a day for 15 minutes. And once you feel like you can fully grasp that phrase, move on to another one. And always go back and review at the end of the week. I highly recommend this because I didn't do this and I forgot a lot of things and it took me a lot of catching up to do. So yeah, we also learned some basic phrases. And yeah, so let's review. So we learned, que te gusta, what do you like? Que le gusta, what do you like? Formal version. Como se llama, what's your name? Formal version. Me llamo, my name is, there is no formal version or informal for that, it's just me llamo. My name is, como te llamas, what is your name? Informal, te llamas, your name is, and se llama, your name is, the polite or formal version. Now let's learn some new phrases. So let's start out with the newest phrase, which is años. Años means years. Años. A-N-O-S. Años. Yo tengo means I have. So yeah. And then yeah. Yeah. And then tienes means you have. Tienes. T-I-E-N-E-S. That's the informal version to say you have. Cuantos. C-U-A-N-T-O-S means how many. And it can be cuantas, cuantos. But we'll get into the definite and indefinite article later in some videos. Then there's also tiene. T-I-E-N-E. Tiene. This means you have. It's the polite version. So when I say cuántos años tienes, you are saying how many years do you have. But it's used to mean how old are you. So cuántos años tienes, how many years do you have, literally means how old are you. So yeah. So then uno means, un means a year. So if I say tengo un año, I'm saying I am 1 year old. But I'm not 1 year old because I'm not a baby. Because if I was a baby, I wouldn't be talking right now would I? So yeah, so ¿cuántos años tienes? How old are you? ¿Cuántos años tiene? How old are you? Tengo un año. I am 1 year old. No, I'm not. No tengo un años. Un año. I am not 1 year old. Because that would mean I was a baby, but I'm not a baby because I wouldn't be able to speak. Yeah. Another thing is that we're gonna also now let's learn some goodbye phrases. So we can learn hasta luego, which means see you later. Hasta luego. Hasta pronto. See you soon. Hasta pronto. Adios. Adios, which means goodbye. And yeah, so now let's learn how to say how are you. So estás means you are in a temporary situation. Now this is the informal version. Estás. E-S-T-A-S. Está is the formal version of you are. So it's spelled E-S-T-A. Está. Now with that being said, so if I say como está, that means how are you, and it's the formal version. You could answer it with a few things. You could say, yo estoy bien, I am good. Now if you want to answer it in the informal way, you could say, y tú, which means how about you, and this is the informal version. Y usted, now usted is the formal version of you, so y usted, how about you, literally means and you, y means you. Let's learn some ways you could answer it. Yo estoy bien, yo estoy mal. I'm not gonna teach stuff like estoy cansado, estoy enferma, because first we're gonna have to learn about the gender, um, um, gender pronouns, like el, la, los, las, which is the definite and indefinite article. So now we're just gonna learn estoy bien and estoy mal. So if you want to, if you want to answer that and somebody says, oh, so if you go up to somebody and say, hola, ¿cómo estás? Or hola, ¿cómo está? You could and they answer saying, yo estoy bien, and you feel good today too. You could say igualmente, which means likewise, but this literally means equally, because igualmente means equally. You could also say yo también, which means me too. So yo estoy bien también, I am good too. But if you want to be more specific, and somebody says, and if you say yo estoy bien, y tú, and they say yo estoy mal, you could say de verdad. De verdad. De verdad, por qué? De verdad, por qué? DEVERDAD This is a question. This means really? Why? So, de verdad, por qué? And they might answer with saying, well, let's just say, and they might answer saying, porque me siento enfermo, or enferma if it's a woman. So if you say de verdad, porque to a guy, and they say they feel bad, they might answer saying, me siento enfermo. Me siento enfermo means I feel sick, and this can only be used by males. When a female wants to say that they're feeling sick, they could say me siento enferma. So now let's review. ¿Cuántos años tienes? How old are you? Tengo un año. I am 1 year old. I am 1 year old, which I am not, because that would make me a baby, but I'm not a baby because I wouldn't be able to talk. Now let's review the formal version of the conversation. Hola, ¿cómo está? Hello, how are you? Yo estoy mal. And then you might say, yo estoy bien. ¿Por qué? You could say, and then you might say, de verdad, ¿por qué estás mal? Or, which means, really, why are you bad? Or you could also say, ¿por qué estás? Or you could just say, ¿por qué estás mal? Why are you bad? De verdad could add an emphasis on it, if depends where it is in the conversation. And then if you're talking to a male, they're gonna say, they might say, me siento enfermo, I feel sick. They might have a fever, they'll say, me siento enfermo. This could be a common answer. And then but if they say yo estoy bien, if maybe it's, well, porque están feliz, they are happy. But if you want to be informal in the conversation, you would go up and you would say, hola, ¿cómo estás? This is the informal version of hello, how are you? You could answer it with, and then you could answer it, and then they might answer it saying, yo estoy mal. And this is if you're talking to a woman, you could say, de verdad, ¿por qué estás mal? Really, why are you bad? Which we already learned. And they might say, me siento enferma, I feel sick. Enferma means sick when a female is speaking, but enfermo is sick when a male is speaking. Said I wasn't going to do this in the video, but I kind of had to for examples. So, comment, rate, and subscribe, guys. Also, the new subscribe thing, I'll be doing that. It's not a limited time thing. I'm doing this, well, forever. So if you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe right back to you in like 1 or 2 of your videos. So have a great day, guys. This is H.